Good afternoon. It's Thursday, April 24th, in the year of our Lord Trump. This is Bruce Leonard Leans Left while it's still legal. Still legal today, I believe. We'll see how long it lasts. There's a lot going on, as usual. How you doing? Thanks for hanging out. Welcome. I want to start today with. I work in retail. Questel, how you doing? I work in retail today. I've worked in retail for a long time, but sometimes you get these messages that come down the pipe, and for anyone who works in retail, today was a scam alert. Scam alert. It's like people calling store scamming. Now, it was one of the most common scams. Is they'll call. Well, hey, John, what's up? People call the store, right, and they'll say, I'm from the IT department or some shit, and they'll say, we got problems with the pin pads. We need to check this out. What I need you to do is get some gift cards, and we're gonna run them through the thing, and then through this process, they get these people to give them the gift card numbers, and then they steal money by phone over the store. And that's a pretty common scam that happens a lot. And when I was in Vegas, they were calling and saying they were the vice president of the company, and something was going on, and they needed them to get into the safe for some reason, and then. And then it always inevitably ends up with the, give me some gift cards and read the numbers to me. And people fall for this shit. But today, there was that scam, but then there was another one that I had never seen before. And it made me realize that we've crossed the stupid line in this country. Like, okay, so what happened was they told them people. They called the store. They said, hey, your store hasn't paid its electric bill. And if you don't pay it right now, they're going to turn off the electricity. And then which led to this person giving them their personal credit card number, which means you're paying the store's bill. Now, why in the fuck would you pay the corporation's bill with your personal money? If they said to me, if they don't pay this bill right now, the electricity's going out, and I'd be like, well, I guess the lights are fucking going out, because I'm not fucking paying for it. I'm gonna clock up and go home. It's like that ain't my problem. They didn't pay. Because you know what happens after your corporation doesn't pay its electric bills? They don't pay the payroll. So you're going to give away your money and then get fucked out of your paycheck too? Like, how fucking stupid do you have to be? Yes. Questel says, that's so dumb I can't even feel bad. Yes. Like that's what I thought. It's like, wow, if you're that fucking stupid, you deserve to lose your money. Who in the fuck pays? That's like if you worked at Target or something, and they were like, "Oh, Target is to pay their electric bill." First of all, it's gonna be a big ass electric bill. It's gonna be way more than. We need you to pay this electric bill. It's $5,000. Oh, let me get my credit card. Like. And it also made me realize that these scams are becoming more and more frequent because everyone in the world is watching this and going, wow, these people are fucking stupid. Game on. It's like, for Christ's sake, look at their president. It's like, It's unbelievable. And here's another thing that happened just now. My mom, I told you, my mom, she can't stop watching the Fox News. She's fucking addicted to it. Like she got to turn on the Fox News, and even though she says she agrees with me that everything they say is bullshit, she can't stop watching it. It's like a drug. She's so today she has that douchebag Will Kane was on, right? And Will Kane is talking about the gang members in El Salvador, and then why do the Democrats want to bring back the gang members, So anyway, so he brings on these people as guests. It was just a podcast. It was three guys sitting at a white desk with a sign in the back of them that said "Ruthless." And two guys had on baseball hats, the other guy had on sunglasses. And like, these are your fucking, this is news? He's like, I'll bring on these expert witnesses. Guys I know from my podcasting days. And of course they're going, the Democrats looking bad, trying to defend these gang members. J.D. Vance brought this up. J.D. Vance also dogs. J.D. Vance is a lying sack of shit, and anything he says is fucking nothing. Nothing. He still hasn't figured out. Like, he keeps talking, J.D. Vance. Like, no one ever told J.D. Vance that the vice presidency is like the most do-nothing job in the history of the world. It's the most useless piece of shit job ever. Your only job is to sit there and break a tie if there's a tie in the Senate. That's it. That's the job. J.D. Vance going all over the world talking to people, telling them what they should be doing, what they shouldn't be doing. He hasn't seemed to gather the fact that no one gives a fuck what he says about anything. It's like, they just sit there while he talks, and then they leave, and then they just make fun of him. If you follow any of this, these countries, they just make fun of Vance as soon as he walks out of the room. And he seems to have no self-awareness whatsoever about himself. He's all ego and big mouth, and he thinks that he's somebody. And it's like, dude, you're nobody. If you were somebody, you would have stopped Donald Trump from doing this dumbass shit with the tariffs. And speaking of that, tariffs off again. Wait, they're on. Wait, 50%. 50% tariffs. I'm going from 145% tariff to 75% tariff. Okay, that's good news. It's still the highest tariffs in the history of the world. It's not good news. And they're saying already. This shit's been theoretical for the last month. Everybody's like, well, there's tariffs, this and that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. And then the reason why he pulled the tariffs back was because all the Walmart, Target, all the executives went to the White House and told him, you realize in about 1 week, we're going to have empty shelves. Just like I told you 4 weeks ago on this show, very show. You remember when they used to show pictures of like empty shelves and they'd say, this is what happens with communism and in Venezuela or some shit. This is what happens in a communist country, and that's why America's so great. And then now we're going to have empty shelves. Why? For no other reason than idiot president. That's it. That's it. Idiot president. And they keep the same thing. My mom keeps turning on Fox. They keep acting like, oh, everything is fine. It's like that meme with the dog sitting in the fire. Julia, yes, Dum Dum learned his lesson the first time. He had to have a spineless, brainless running mate this time. Yes. A nut-licking sycophant who would do anything he says, who just wants to be the president. Yes, it's the golden age. And then you walk into the store and the shelves are all empty. You tell your kids, look around, you kids. It's the golden age. It's so ridiculous that, like, if it wasn't real life, you wouldn't believe it. There's, I don't even know. There's 150 something dudes in Congress and 50 something dudes in the Senate, and not one of them will do anything about it. They're just sitting back and letting this guy destroy everything, destroy the world, destroy the economy, destroy the health system. He's just destroying everything. They even sit back. Well, we can't do nothing about it. 10 of these guys could impeach this guy and remove him from office. It's like, and at the Pentagon, I don't know, what a fucking shit show this turned out to be. Who would think that hiring a drunken weekend Fox News host who was in the National Guard to run the biggest military operation on the planet could go wrong? I mean, his dudes that he handpicked were all escorted out of the Pentagon. They're all going around. These are his people. It's not like, oh, these are people, holdovers that were that worked for Biden or something that were there. No, these are his handpicked people who only been there for like 2 months, and they're already going, this is so bad that we have to tell people how bad this is. And these people that he put into place, he hired them. Now he says, oh, they're just disgruntled employees. They want to smear somebody. He's like, it's such a shit show. You couldn't make this shit up, like how bad it is. It's only been 100 days, not even 100 days. I think this is like 95, or it's not even 100 days. And everything is shit. It's like you were driving your car down the highway, and then you were like, I'm a little bit tired. Hey, and you had like a 12-year-old kid with you. Hey, 12-year-old kid, why don't you drive for a while? What's the worst that can happen? And then when your car goes flying into the fucking ditch in like 10 seconds, you go, I don't know how this happened. People voted for Donald Trump to fix the economy. And 30 days in, he just took a sledgehammer to it. Well, that'll fix it. He had to run this fantasy he's had his whole life about fucking tariffs, and how tariffs are the greatest thing ever. Just all the other presidents were just too fucking stupid to know that tariffs are the way to go. Even though we have two major specific examples of people using tariffs and have fucked up everything. But one causes the Great Depression. But no. And every economist on the planet's telling him, no, don't do this. Don't do this. Oh, I'm a businessman. I know better than these people. And that brings me back to the point I was making about J.D. Vance. All these people, they lie so much. It's only been like 90 days. You got no credibility left. None. I don't believe a fucking word any of them say ever about anything. Because why? Because they lie constantly. Their entire worldview and philosophy is based on bullshit and lies. And that's it. You go, what's a great right-wing idea that they have that's not backed up by, they don't even have great ideas. It's all culture war bullshit. They were just talking on before I came down the steps. Oh, the Conclave movie, the one, one of the Cardinals is a trans. And like, I guess that's the big, I'm sorry if you haven't seen it. Spoiler alert, I haven't seen it, but I guess that's the big thing. You know, that one of the popes is, yeah, Julius says, I get a kick out of the maggots who are begging him not to deport their wives. I voted for you, sir. Please don't take her away. Yeah, it's hard to feel sorry for them. At all. At all. But anyway, they lie. Like, that's all they do. They lie. And then and they don't really have any real philosophies. It's all culture war bullshit. And even that culture war bullshit is backed up by lies. Like, oh, there's millions of illegal immigrant gang member terrorists running around, and there's so many heads in the street that they've cut off that you can't even walk down the street without maybe tripping on someone's head. And all the women's, men and women's sports, there's 10 of them. 10 of them. 10. Total. 10. Oh, it's a threat to all women in Western civilization as we know it, these 10 people. It's like... And today, it's the same thing. They're gutting the civil rights... got in the civil rights office that enforces civil rights rules, right? And the guy that says, I ordered them all to focus on important issues like keeping men out of women's sports. And it's like, okay, so it's bullshit, right? You know. Meanwhile, racism is back full on. Sheriff in Oklahoma was just caught on tape talking about lynching black people and how he wanted to beat up and kill a reporter if he could. It's like, oh, we're getting rid of that. We're getting rid of it. Yes, everyone in America will be posting this. Right. That's why I said when the other day when Will Kane had to pull out some story from June of last year about some immigrant who hit somebody in a car. You know, it's like because they didn't have no new stories. It's like and it's just like this whole argument that they're trying to do now. See, all they know how to do is culture war bullshit, right? So when the rubbers meet in the road here with the law and the due process, right? They don't talk about that. They just go, well, look at the Democrats want to defend these gang members. You know, and you're like, dude, they're not gang members. This is the point. How do you know they're gang members? Well, Trump told us. Well, Trump fucking lies every 5 seconds. You gonna trust him? Oh, we believe everything he says. Yeah, because you're fucking stupid. The person who paid their company's electric bill with the credit card, I guarantee they voted for Trump. I mean, I'm not a betting man. I lived in Las Vegas for 6 years. I never bet on anything. But I'm willing to throw down my life savings. It says that this moron that paid the Fresh Market's electric bill is a fucking Trump voter. I guarantee you that. There ain't so many people in the world that are that fucking stupid to believe this shit. And it was like, oh, these guys were saying, oh, J.D. Vance said this. J.D. Vance said people eat cats and dogs. And then when they caught him on it, he said, well, if I got to make up stories, that's what I'll do. Make up stories. I was like, yes, because you're full of shit. Just like this shit now, they say, oh, he was in front of 2 judges. They found him to be a member of MS-13. You can read the court transcripts. They say clearly, the judge says, well, I don't see much evidence here that he's a member of MS-13. And it said right on the thing they put out, this man has no criminal history whatsoever. So, yeah, he got pulled over. And then they try to pull out every little thing that ever happened to him. Oh, he got pulled over here for speeding. And then, he was at the Home Depot trying to get a job. And there might have been some gang members there, but he wasn't really with them. But he was in the vicinity. And he was wearing a bull's hat. He has a tattoo. He's a gang member. It's I didn't know 100%, but they said some judge today said all, but they said some judge today said all these people got to come back and get a hearing, get a due process, because right now you have a bunch of people sitting in a black hole prison in a third world country, and ain't none of them had any kind of due process whatsoever. They're just sitting there because Grand Wizard Tom Homan and Trump say these people are gang members and terrorists, and Stephen Miller. Yes. John says he was J.D. long before that motherfucker, Craig Franklin. Yes. Yes. Not to mention the Ukraine thing. Remember Trump said, I'll solve the Ukraine war in 24 hours. It's been a long 24 hours. The war's still going on. So today, I don't know if you saw this, but yes. Well, Hegseth he's a Christian nationalist. Yes, if they have a gang. I mean, I don't know what that's. I mean, the Klan, I guess. I told you that before. Last episode. It's like these people are the Klan with the hoods off. I mean, that's all. That's all they are. They're the Klan. If you went to a Klan meeting when they wore the hoods and you walked around and pulled them off, that it would be them. Remember when they said, it was that story that said, white nationalists have infiltrated the military, and everybody was like, no, that's not true. What? Vance came from the military? Hegseth came from the military? It's just like when you say, Trump is a Russian asset. No, he isn't. It's a hoax. It's all a hoax. Except for, like I said, Trump trying to get this ceasefire, and then Putin bombed the fuck out of Kiev yesterday, the capital of Ukraine. And what does Trump do? He jumps on his Truth Social. Please, Vladimir, just stop. Please. And he's trying to get mad at Zelensky because Zelensky wouldn't take the deal that he put on the table. But I don't know if you saw this deal. I'm about to read it to you. Here's what Russia would get under Trump's proposal to end the Ukraine war. Okay? First of all, you get de jure U.S. recognition of Russian control in Crimea. Just give it to him. Which I said 10 years ago is what was going to happen. And he wasn't able to do it first time he was president because, like I said, he still had people that had fucking... Which I said 10 years ago is what was going to happen. And he wasn't able to do it. Had people that had fucking morals. Spines. They told him no. Mike Pompeo, even though he's an asshole, he wasn't about to give Vladimir Putin the Crimea. As a matter of fact, they wrote a proclamation and said that they would never recognize Russian control of Crimea, which Trump just doing to the garbage can. But of course, he's not a Russian asset. This deal reads like Putin just faxed it to him. It was like, this is what I want. Read it. Do it. Yes, sir. Now, he also wants de facto recognition of the Russian occupation of nearly all of Luhansk Oblast and the occupied portions of Donetsk, Kherson, and Zaporizhia, which means all the territory that Russia's control right now. Are you just gonna? He's basically saying to Ukraine, just surrender, and then the war will be over. And give up half your country. Once he has that half, he definitely is not going to come for the other half. You know, like, is it? We've seen this movie before. I don't know if you know about World War II history, but that's exactly what happened in Czechoslovakia. Like you said, oh, we're going to take the Sudetenland from Czechoslovakia because there's a bunch of Germans that live there and they want to be in Germany, which is exactly what he says about Ukraine is, oh, there's Russians there. They want to be part of Russia. You want to be part of Russia? Get in your car. Drive 100 fucking miles over the border. Hey, you're in Russia. Fucking move. It's that simple. It's a bullshit story. But that's not even enough. That's not even all of it. The third part is a promise that Ukraine will not become a member of NATO. The text notes that Ukraine could become part of the European Union, but it can't join NATO. Right? 4, lifting the sanctions that were imposed in 2014. And number 5, enhanced economic cooperation with the U.S., particularly in the energy and industrial sectors, right? What does Ukraine get? Nothing. Zero. Zilch. Nada. And you go, oh, it's almost like he works for Vladimir Putin. That's a hoax. Like, man, for a hoax, it sure... Sure seems like he's doing everything you would do if you worked for Vladimir Putin. It's a hoax. It's all a hoax. It's all a coincidence. Same thing as these dudes, these ruthless podcasters that Will Kane brought on his show on Fox News Channel as guests, like legitimate guests to discuss news. Here's 3 dudes. The Ruthless Podcast, totally not financed by Russia, I'm sure. You know, all that's a hoax too. It's a coincidence. Tim Pool. I don't know if you know who Tim Pool is. You might see pictures of him on the internet. He looks like a trailer park white rapper with the. He wears a hoodie all the time and a beanie cap, and it's been proven, him and Benny Johnson and the company they work for took millions of dollars from Russia, right? They financed their podcasts so that they could push Russian misinformation and propaganda across the internet, across the brosphere or whatever the fuck they call it. This guy was invited yesterday to the White House press briefing. He's a paid Russian asset sitting in a briefing, throwing out softball bullshit questions and attacking the media, the regular media, you know, and you're going, it's almost like this is a Russian misinformation fucking operation right there in the White House. No, it's a hoax. It's all a hoax. Trumpers are the dumbest people on the fucking planet. The dumbest. Okay? I've never seen a group of people so collectively fucking stupid in my entire life. Like, this is beyond, like, left-right politics of, like, oh, you know, I disagree with the way they want to run their tax policy or whatever else. No, these people are fucking morons, and they've attached themselves to a Nazi movement. They don't even realize it's a Nazi movement. When you tell them that, they go, oh, you just call people Nazis because you don't agree with their politics. It's like, yes, because it's Nazi politics. Yeah. See, Julia's like, I'm pissed about the public parks and lands being sold to oil companies. Bastards. They're also discussing taking native lands. Yes, let's fuck them again, too, while we're at it. They were trying to say that they weren't even citizens. Did you see that? That's gone away a little bit, but in the beginning, they were trying to argue with this birthright citizenship thing and all that shit that the Native Americans weren't even citizens of America. Well, what the fuck are they then? When I was out west, that was one of the saddest things. That when you go to like when you go to the Grand Canyon, the Native Americans are there and they're running most of it. They're running, they run the gift shops and they have like shows where you can go out and sit and like an elder will come out and do the dance and the song and what you're watching is a dead culture, like that they're desperately trying to keep alive in any little tiny way possible that they can, and you just realize just how evil this place really is when it gets right down to it. I mean, people act surprised. I act surprised. I thought that we had grown a little. But no. Trump and the Trumpers, they're just, that's what America is and always has been. A bunch of cast-off white people from Europe who still thought that they were fucking superior to everybody and they fucking roll over everybody and kill everybody and lie about it the entire time and make treaties and break them because you can't fucking trust their word. It's hard to even put it into words like what it is. How fucking just evil it really is. I've always had these feelings. I mean, if you're a person of any kind of reasonable intelligence, you can't look at the history of this country and go, man, that was great. That's when they always say, make America great again. When was it great? When we massacred fucking, millions of people and women and children, when we intentionally gave them smallpox blankets so they would fucking die. When we were dragging Africans off the beach in Africa to ships and dragging them over here in chains and making them fucking work to death for free. Was that when it was great? Or when we stopped that, but then we didn't burn, Sherman didn't burn enough of the South. That's the problem. He should have burned the whole fucking thing to the ground. They left them breathing, and that's the problem. Now they're back. I don't see no way out of this except for like I said before. If you don't want to fight, everybody's going to have to get on board. I mean, we're going to have to general strike. We're going to have to shut this country down. Like, completely down. I mean, he's doing a pretty good job of it himself. And they said in about 2 weeks, the trucking and the shipping, everything's going to be fucked up. Because he's fucked up the supply chains with these with this tariff shit. And tariffs on, tariffs off, tariffs on, tariffs off. Yes, exactly. Great for white people. Exactly. That's the part they leave out. Make America great for white people again. Listen to this. This just happened. Okay. I guess because of the DEI and the orders and all that in the state of Ohio, I guess, decided that from now on you don't have to post that thing in, how whenever you have a job, you go to the bulletin board in the break room or whatever, and there's that poster on the wall that tells you all your rights as an employee and all the things that they can't do to you. Well, that's going away. And when I asked them about it, this is what they said. They said, well, this will save the companies money on printing and things, and then they can invest that money back into the company. Really? Really? That's why you're doing this? People voted for this. People chose this. It's unbelievable. And now some of them are like, I can't believe this is all happening. I voted for Trump. I don't understand. Well, I listened to some podcasts and then I said, oh, well, Joe Rogan says he's okay. Even Joe Rogan's like, hey, this is fucked up, But fuck Joe Rogan now for support all this, bring it into being, and then all of a sudden go, oh my God, this is messed up. Well, you fucking caused this. He could have said, hey, Trump is crazy. No. He brought him on the show. He let him run his fucking mouth. He brought J.D. Vance on the show. He let him run his fucking mouth. He didn't do a goddamn thing. He let him lie with impunity like they always do. It's unbelievable. And people believe these lies. It's like a wife who's been beaten up so many times that she just can't bring herself to admit that this guy's a piece of shit. And so she's like, he's a good guy. When he's not punching me in the face, he's a wonderful person. It's like these people lie to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Lies, lies, lies. People eat it up. They eat it up. Nobody likes Joe Rogan. Somebody does. He's got millions and millions of listeners and loyal followers. This was funny. Nicole Wallace said yesterday on her show, she said, Joe Rogan gave a very eloquent and passionate defense of due process. It's like, oh, it's nice of him to be eloquent and give a defense of something. Now it is too fucking late. How about he fucking did that before the election? How about he did that for, the previous years when he let Nazis come on his fucking show? When he just let them fucking spew their shit and didn't say shit. When he's fucking calling Alex Jones, Alex Jones is another one. He lies constantly. And everything he says is a lie, and it's been proven to be a lie, and he fucking had to pay $1 billion fucking for lying about Sandy Hook, and yet people still listen to Alex Jones. And like, well, her Alex Jones said, right then, just stop fucking talking. It's like, what? Alex Jones said, well, shut the fuck up. Really? You believe this guy? After, well, I know he told me 10,000 lies, but this time he's telling the truth. It's just like Trump. Trump posted, I swear to God, on his True Social, posted, all prices are down and the eggs are down 87%. Are they? Are they? I work in a fucking store. They're not down 87%, bro. They're still $6 a dozen. What the fuck is he talking about? People read this stuff and they don't go, man, he's lying. Like, no, they read, they go, oh, he's doing a wonderful job. You just went to the store. You didn't see the $6 price. They're the dumbest fucking people to ever walk the planet. They might be dumber. I mean, Neanderthals might have been smarter than these people. At least Neanderthals were smart enough to fuck some of us and they put their DNA in the mix. It's like, these people are... I've never seen, like I said, the levels of stupidity that this country has gotten to. We don't eat eggs. Yeah, well, you shouldn't. At this point, they're $6 a dozen. Soon it'll only be rich people eating omelets in front of poor people. Eggs are now a luxury item, like lobster or something. Ooh, you got eggs? You must be middle class. Yes, because of aluminum tariff. Yes, 100%. Everything buckle up because it's about to get worse. Because they said a lot of these companies, they said, well, it's just too expensive to bring this stuff in now, so they're not bringing in nothing. Like I said, the shelves are going to end empty. Just like I predicted this a month ago. I said, you're going to go into Walmart, it's going to be empty. There's no way to replace these things that we've been buying for the last 20 fucking years. And cheap goods. You want to buy something that's made in America, it's going to cost you. Now they said, did you hear this? They want to give women $5,000 for having a baby. First of all, $5,000 won't cover your fucking birth cost. It's like the bill that the hospital gives you for having a baby. It's going to be more than $5,000. Second of all, think about it. Multiply that. Every woman that has a baby is going to get $5,000. Start adding that up. These are the dumbest people on the fucking planet. I've never seen people this fucking collectively stupid. I'm like a whole giant group of them. 30% of the country. Morons. Complete knuckle-dragging fucking morons. Don't know shit about anything. They're all on the internet. Well, you gotta eat this, libs. It's like, what are we eating? Shit. It's what we're eating. We're all eating it. Only you're going, this shit tastes like chocolate cake because Trump. It's Trump shit. It's unbelievable. And it tells you just how much white people really believe that they are superior to everybody else, and that somehow they got fucked over in this new world where everybody's kind of equal, because they'd rather burn it all down than subject themselves to equality. And then you talk to them and you're like, you're the dumbest people on the fucking planet, bro. Literally. Dumb. So fucking stupid. And you think you're superior to anybody. Really? You can't even spell. These people, they can't even speak English. You got like 8th grade education. They're like, well, God, these liberals don't get to keep the women out of sports. And meanwhile, he's burning everything to the ground. Everything to the ground. Our reputation is shot. The Treasury bond, the U.S. Treasury bond used to be the number one, since the gold standard went away, the U.S. Treasury bond was the gold standard, basically. All these countries had a bunch of trillions of dollars in bonds. They're selling those now. We have lost, in 3 months, we have lost our place as the leader of the world. 3 months. Literally. It's the fastest destruction of anything I've ever seen. 250 years of goodwill we've built up, reputation as being, the leader of the free world. Now they said we're not even free, these other countries. And we're not. Now, we're just another authoritarian, dick bag, banana republic, shit bag country. It's what. Well, we got El Salvador. Like, thank God for that. It's like, sure, we gave up Europe, and it's just, we traded Europe for El Salvador. It's gonna be great. Hope you like bananas. it's unbelievable. But anyway, today, like I said, it was a Trump-appointed judge too that said, "Hey, you got to bring these people back. They got to have a hearing, a due process." Like like I said before, it's not just the one guy. All these people, none of them were vetted. None of them were proven to be gang members or wherever they said they were. They just said, these people are gang members and we're deporting them. How do you know they're gang members? They got tattoos and a bull's hat. This guy, who's a confidential informant who's been proven to give us bad information for 10 years, said he is a member of a gang. Judge says specifically, hey, there's not a lot of evidence here that this guy's a gang member. And they said, hey, he's been adjudicated a gang member by a judge. They lie. They lie like little children who have chocolate all over their face and go, I did not eat the cake. It's like, you got chocolate on your face. Oh, I did not. It wasn't me. It's like, that's how bad it is. And yet, that's half of our country is following these people. They've checked out of objective reality and truth. Truth doesn't exist anymore. Not for these people. It's a dangerous world we're living in when Danielle and me were talking about it before. When you used to be able to say, here's an objective set of facts, and then you say, let's have a debate on how you fix this problem or whatever. Right? Here's an example of right-wing bullshit, okay? On the way home from work, I got home a little early today because I had to go do inventory. So usually I catch the very tail end of shitbag Bill Cunningham show on the way home from work. But today I was in the middle of the show because I was driving home early, and I turned on the radio, and he's going, "This global warming is not real. It's not real. You can go back." This is how they justify it. They go, "You can go back to 1900. Look at all of the predictions. You can go back." This is how they justify it. They go, "You can go back to 1900. Look at all of the predictions they made. They said all America will be underwater and this and that and the other, blah, 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 blah." All right, and then you're like, it's 1900 you're talking about, bro. You can also buy morphine right out of the Sears catalog. Have it shipped to your house with a rig in it. Shoot yourself up. Coca-Cola had real cocaine in it. It's 1900. Yeah, the scientists, maybe they got it a little bit wrong, maybe, but they were on track of telling you what was going to happen. It's all, none of this is real. Dude, there's been the biggest wildfires you've ever seen. There's tornadoes and hurricanes, bigger than you've ever seen before. And he's talking about, oh, this is not real. And, all conservatism is the resistance of change, of any kind of change. That's it. They don't want to change nothing. And they will fight tooth and nail to any change. Oh, I don't want this. What do you mean we got to change the way we live to save the planet? What are you talking about? And it was funny when it was just an argument and there was not like objective evidence that would show you that they were wrong. But see, this is what you don't understand. What I said in the very beginning of this show, way back when it started, was that this was going to be the biggest psychological experiment you've ever seen in your life. It's how much shit can happen before these people will admit that they were fucking wrong. And here's the answer. They're never going to admit it. It's like they're on the Titanic as it's sinking going, this is the most greatest, safest ship ever built. They're never going to admit it. They're never going to change. There's nothing that could happen that could take a Nazi and make them go, well, maybe my Nazi, philosophies are wrong. No. They're just going to double down, and then when it doesn't work, they blame someone else. Oh, it was Joe Biden's fault. It's a mental illness, bro. It's crossed into the line of Julia says, I sure hope historians in other countries are accurately documenting our downfall. So sometime in the distant future, people will know what destroyed America. A childish megalomaniac and his sycophants. Yes, but it's deeper than that. It's lack of education. It's lack of decent, healthcare system, mental health care. There's all kinds of problems. This society is sick. Period. It's not a good society. Look at it. People snap left and right in America and just shoot up a bunch of random people. Why? Because they feel helpless and they feel shit upon and they feel trapped and they feel, Yes, they really do just keep saying Bidenomics. Yes, exactly. Exactly. It's Biden's fault. We have to do this. Bidenomics. Yes, exactly. Exactly. It's Biden's fault. We have to do this. This guy working, Trumper guy, was like, so bad, it's going to take a long time to fix it. It's like, was it bad, bro? It wasn't that bad. See, because Americans are also fucking stupid. Like I said, they don't look around the world at all. And you go, hey, you realize that inflation was a worldwide problem, right? Because of the COVID pandemic. Well, see, what Trump has done now is recreated what happened in the COVID pandemic. But instead of it being a virus, it's just his stupid ass fucking ideas. Period. Like all the supply chains that they worked so hard to put back together after COVID, he just destroyed them again. He just put a hammer to them. Bang! It's like, for some mythical thing that all manufacturing's gonna come back. We're gonna make toasters. We're gonna bring back the Maytag washing machine factory. This is their solution to American problems, right? Meanwhile, he's gutting. He's trying to take control of all the universities. He's going to gut them and make them into brainwashing factories. That it's... And the same thing. People go, oh, when you say Trump is kind of like Hitler, and they go, oh, there you go again with your hyperbole. And then you look at all the things that Trump is doing. They're all things Hitler did. Hitler did tariffs. Hitler made lists. They want to make a list of people that have autism. First, that is another thing. Did you hear about this? Robert Kennedy, or Brainworm Bobby, says they're going to make a list of all the people on autism. They're going to use health records to make a list. And first of all, there's laws against health record privacy. Is called the HIPAA law, right? Well, I was a manager in a store. You're not even allowed to talk to employees about people's health. You're not allowed to bring it up. It's illegal. They're going to gather everybody's health information to make a list? The fuck? Anyway, Hitler went after trans people. That was one of their first targets. Everything he's doing is shit Hitler did. And then you say, oh, he's kind of like Hitler. Oh, you're being crazy. Yes, just like all his failed businesses. Yes, 6 bankruptcies. About to be 7 if you count the United States of America. Yeah, he wants to make a list. People with autism. What do you think they're going to do with that list? Why do they want a list? Why does anybody want a list of people? Why are you singling out people? That's what the Nazis did. Oh, there you go again. I don't know why the color's weird today. I'm like pink. Whatever. This is how stupid they are. That's what I'm saying. Because they don't know anything about history. They don't know anything about the world around them. Most of them have never been out of their fucking trailer park, it seems like. And you know what? When the world cuts us off and we're totally isolated, you know what? We fucking deserve it. At this point. I don't know what to tell you. Like, we're all in this ship together. And people are rising up around the country, and that's great. But it ain't enough yet. I said, we need a full-on strike. We need hundreds of millions of people to quit working and start walking towards Washington and say, if you don't fix this shit, we're going to burn this shit down. All of it. Like the French. Fuck you! God love the French. See, they've been through this. You know what did they do? They drug all those people out in the fucking street and fucking put them in the head chopper. That calmed the situation down, didn't it? But if you don't know this, if you don't know the history of French and the French Revolution, this is true. This is absolutely true. Before France became like a full-on democracy, right? They had king, right? And then the bitch was like, let him eat the cake or whatever. And Louis the 14th, he was like Trump, I guess. He was just stupid and like, you know, and they were just living all decadently in the palace and while the country was starving and shit and everybody was like, hey man, this fucking sucks. We need to get rid of this king. So they fucking gathered up. They marched on Paris. They marched on Versailles or whatever, and they drugged the fucking king out and his cake-eating wife. And they put him in the head chopper and they chopped him, right? But then what happened? Napoleon. They're like, well, we can't have a king. What are we gonna do now? Dictator. And they went with the dictator, right? And then he was successful for a while, but same thing. He's too militant, and he got in over his head, right? And he fucked everything up. And then what happened after that? They're like, we need to get rid of Napoleon, the dictator, and bring back the king. And that's what they did. They got Louis. I forget how he was related to him. If it was his brother or you know, nephew or I don't know. He was a royal blood person, and they put it back in. They put a king back. Yes, please, Julia. Julia says a general strike is in the works. Yes, that's what needs to happen. Everybody needs to stop. We need to shut the whole country down. Say we're not taking this shit anymore. You know, country ain't moving forward until you fix all this shit. And the Congress, like I said, impeach, remove, right? And if Vance don't get that message, impeach him, remove him. If the next guy don't get the message, impeach him, remove him. Until somebody gets it. Here's the deal. You can't run a country on culture wars. That's how they got elected. Culture wars, yeah, but then you see all these culture war people, once they get to Congress and into the presidency, they ain't got no ideas about running anything. They don't know what they're doing. They're morons with big mouths. That's all they are. And if you ask me, Fox News should be burned to the ground. Should be taken off the air. Like, they say, oh, that's against free speech. I don't give a fuck. You know, you shouldn't be able to call yourself, or they should have to change the name of it to Fox Bullshit Entertainment Channel or some shit, because it is not news. I think this is news is a huge problem. It's propaganda. It's not news. It's never been news. Even fucking people like Brett Baird, who's been there forever, used to think, oh, he's a straight up reporter. No, he isn't. No. He's a pathetic nutlicker that does what he's told. And that's the other thing about the right. They're all in lockstep. See, that's the problem. Is they're all in this deluded fantasy, and they're all in it. And they're all marching forward. Well, this is the way it is. And it's like, dude, everything you say is not true. Demonstrably false. Oh, no, it isn't. You're just a liberal, libtard. Eat this. We're going to own you, lib. You're like, well, you're really owning, you're not going to own much of anything when everybody's fucking broke. That's one reason, like I said, like, I've always stayed working in a grocery store because food ain't never going away. People need it. When everybody's jobs are going away, falling, like we might fall down, you know, the profits might drop, but the store will stay open. And even if it doesn't, I'll find another store to work at. Because grocery business ain't shutting down. You know, that's the one thing that has to stay alive because people got to eat. It's not subject to economic fluctuation or any of that kind of shit. Like COVID, I kept working. Everybody's job went away, not mine. People got to eat, you know. Got to eat food. Anyway, the court cases are still going on about the fucking people they've kidnapped and taken down to El Salvador, and these people can cry and bitch all they want to and try to give away their own rights because they're fucking stupid, but it's not gonna happen, bro. The courts at least are standing up, and I do believe the Supreme Court will back up, you know, due process rights and things like that. Now, whether he listens to them is another story. And that's when, like I said, that's when we're going to get into a situation where striking might not be enough. You know, that's why I was saying before, I'm not advocating anything, okay? I'm not. But I will say you should get yourself ready for anything that can happen. I said to my mom was asking me about the sword. And I was like, I told her I only bought the sword because if society falls apart and, you know, you're going to need a bunch of stuff. She started laughing at me. She doesn't get it either. Like, well, you know, I'm going to have to defend you, you know. It's like, so you can laugh all you want, but when I'm cutting someone's head off in front of you, is they're trying to break into our house, I don't want to hear a fucking word. And you say, God damn, thank God you bought that sword. And you'll say, yes, thank God I did. You know, thank God somebody's thinking ahead. Because unless somebody does something pretty soon, like they were just talking about last night, like this is all theoretical until about a week from now. Things are going to start getting real. I said, then when the supply chain really stops and, like I said, shelves start emptying in places and you can't find anything and the prices of everything goes through the fucking roof, you know, like it's going to be real. And even then, will these people admit that they fucked up? No. Fox News will be on there. It's all, everything's fine. Look, here's the 3 ruthless guys to tell us that everything is fine. Podcasters. And I'm a podcaster now, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you, And what did they say? Just all the same talking points they all fucking say. Just like I told you. None of them have an original thought in their fucking brain. There's some place, a headquarters somewhere, that puts out facts every day of what they want these right-wing people to say. And it goes across this whole stratosphere of podcasts, Fox News, Newsmax, OAN, all the right-wing radios like Billy Cunningham on the fucking TV. I mean, on the radio when you're driving to work or whatever. Julie says, I got some friends come over for target practice. Yes. Well, don't use all the bullets. That's another thing. Like, yeah, it's good to practice, but you don't want them bullets. So, make sure you don't buy dumbass guns like my dad did, would cost you 75 cents a bullet. It's like... And then you can't really shoot anybody with because it won't kill them. But see, back then you could just shoot somebody and then they'd get sepsis or something and they'd fucking die. Those guns worked back then because there were no fucking doctors to save people. But these guns nowadays, they're useless. But yeah, like I said, they're not gonna change. They're going down with the ship. This is what they've chosen, and we're all going along with it too, because some of us were too fucking, I don't like what they're doing, guys, when I'm not voting. You see, it's gotten much better since Trump's in office, right? Yeah. No, the Palestinian situation has not improved. Has not improved. It's much significantly worse. So all you motherfuckers that thought you were, morally not, I'm going to stand down because not vote, because Kamala Harris and Biden allowed Israel to, you can't stop Israel from doing, whatever the fuck they're going to do. But they did contain it a little better. They didn't have a ceasefire that Trump already fucked that up. Europe said, I am glad with this. Europe basically told Trump to fuck off with that proposal with Ukraine. They're like, fuck you. We're not doing that. See, they've been through this. You give him the Crimea, he's coming back for the rest of it. And after that, he's going to go to Latvia or whatever. He's gonna try to take that. And he's going to keep going until someone stops him. This is the other part of it that I don't think people get, is that Putin ain't going to stop. Putin is like Hitler was back then. Like, he's got it in his mind that this is what he wants to do, and he's going to do it. Until someone stops him, he's going to keep going. In my lifetime, there's been a bunch of fucking wars, and most of them were not necessary. Maybe, like I said, when we invaded Afghanistan the first time, that was a necessary war, right? Invade Afghanistan, destroy Al-Qaeda, kill Osama bin Laden for what he did, and that was it. But they fucked that up too by going, now we're going over to Iraq. It's like, which was totally bullshit. Didn't need to do that. Was Saddam Hussein a terrible person? Yes. Did he have weapons of mass destruction? No. Was he a threat to us? No. That was some personal shit. George Bush mad because he tried to kill his dad. And he wanted to make a point. All these guys are petty fucking pricks. These right-wing fucking asshole Republicans. But anyway, Vladimir Putin is necessary. He fucking pricks. These right-wing fucking asshole Republicans. But anyway, Vladimir Putin is necessary. It's a necessary thing that we need to stop this guy, or else he's not going to stop. And I'm not a warmonger person. Like, oh, we need to go to war. But I'm pretty sure, like I said, that Vladimir, until someone stops him. Europe gathers together. You know, it would have been us and Europe, but now, who fucking knows? I don't think anybody knows what we're doing. I don't think we know what we're doing. It's a bad spot we're in. It's a bad spot. I wish I could sit here and tell you I had the answers, but I don't. I'm just observing it and trying to tell you what's going on. So that you will at least be informed. But other than that, I don't have any fucking answers. I don't think anyone does. Democratic Party most certainly doesn't. And the ones that do, no one listens to them. You know. You gotta love being called radicals. We're the radical left by people who are literally kidnapping people and dragging them off to third world countries. That's not radical. That's what I mean. It's a spinning gaslight at all times with these people. They're full of shit. There is no radical left in America. There's not even really that many leftists. I mean, real ones. It's just they got rid of them in the 50s. There was anybody that said, oh, they're communists, blackballed. It's like, or killed. Yes, Vlad needs a dose of his own medicine. Yes, exactly. I don't even mean that. I just mean, I'm not saying destroy Russia, but I'm saying every country should go to Ukraine and push them out. And then they should build, like they had before, I guess, a wall or something, and say, don't come over this fucking wall or there'll be a war, you know, period. Because other than that, he's going to keep going. He has this dream of trying to put back together the Soviet Union. See, that's what I mean. These guys all live in a past, a mythical past. The world has passed them by. But we won't get rid of these old leaders and fucking bring in some new people, younger people who've grown up in the world of today. They're all talking about, oh, how it used to be. We're going to make America great again like it was back, you know. It's myth. It's a mythical greatness that we never really achieved, you know. Like, I mean, I guess it's not to say America never did anything. America's done good things, but America's done a lot of shitty things, too. We're not innocent. And you can't just look at the history of this country and realize it. We're not fucking innocent. You know, there's a lot of looking in the mirror to do when this is over. How do we get here? And there's a lot of things that need to be fixed. Some things need to be hardened up, shored up. You know, we need to pass a fucking law. I mean, amend the Constitution. It says a person who's a convicted felon cannot be the president of the United States. Let's start there. That seems like a pretty big fucking loophole that they were able to fucking walk right through, you know. This whole, we can't prosecute a president because it's bad for the country. You know it's bad for the country? Having a criminal fucking president. That seems bad to me. I don't know what to I don't know. I went over because I'm ranting, so I'm going to get out of here. I'll be back on Saturday. Haven't talked to Daniela yet, but I'm pretty sure hopefully he'll be here. on Saturday as usual, and we'll talk about all kinds of stuff. I keep wanting to bring back that conversation that he wanted to have about what happens when AI and robotics take over everything, and we have to get, what will happen? What will people do when there's not really enough jobs for all the people? And in the meantime, they just keep saying having babies, have babies. It's like, have more babies that we don't have jobs for or any idea how to take care of them. But you need to have more. That's what I mean. It's a mental fucking illness. There's no logic involved in right-wing politics. It's all knee-jerk emotional bullshit. And you can't run a country on that. Period. I think we're finding that out pretty quick. Anyway, like I said, I'll be back on Saturday. And I said, hopefully Daniele Bolelli will be here with us. I am Bruce Leonard. This is Bruce Leonard Leans Left. While it's still legal, thank you for hanging out with me. Please tell your friends. I'll see you on Saturday. Thank you. Good night.